I have a lump in my breast, and my mammogram is actually scheduled for today. I'm very afraid. I am. Uh, oh, I just pray it's not cancer. Oh, dear Lord. Hi everyone, I'm Danielle. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't already done so, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get started. This year was the year of YouTube. I said I was going to become a vlogger and I was going to create content on YouTube. It was one of my bucket list items. And so it was also on my New Year's resolution list. And so I was consistent January up until May. Now, based on the title of this video, you can tell what happened in May. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it's actually already stage 4. It's metastatic. By the time I could feel a lump in my breast, it had already spread to my lymph nodes and my hip and femur bones. I want to just say this. I know there is a God, because the fact that I can sit here and talk about this without crying is a miracle. Because when I say I cry so much, I went to see my primary care physician, had her feel the lump. She sent me to go get a mammogram. I went and got the mammogram on May 20th. On May 20th, that's when they told me they were 95% sure that I had cancer, breast cancer, and they wanted me to get a breast biopsy to determine whether we were definitely sure, 100% sure it was cancer. But honestly, all of the other dates after the mammogram kind of were hazy. So I kind of see May 20th as the day that I found out that I had cancer. After I got a mammogram, they sent me to get the breast biopsy. When I got the breast biopsy, they were like, we're going to take tissue from your lymph nodes as well, just to be sure that the cancer is or isn't there. We want to make sure we know what's going on. And I actually did not get sedated or go under for the breast biopsy. Some people do it. I know people who have done it, but I didn't. I just stayed awake. I didn't feel pain, physical pain from the breast biopsy at all. I didn't feel any pain. It was just like a slight clicking noise that I could hear. The recovery time for that was pretty quick. I just had to take it easy and keep that area iced. The results from the breast biopsy were to tell me, yes, you do have cancer, and yes, it actually has spread to your lymph nodes, which was deeply disappointing. After that, I had to get an appointment with a breast surgeon. That's what I was informed to do next, because I couldn't secure a breast surgeon appointment without the results of my breast biopsy. I had the breast biopsy maybe in like June, and I didn't see my breast surgeon. I didn't have that appointment until maybe July, mid-July, beginning of July, one of those two. And so it's a lot of waiting. There was a lot of waiting and build up, and it was just, that was mentally torturous. I'm in between the time that I had the breast biopsy and actually sitting down with the breast surgeon, I started to feel immense pain in my lower body. My side, the side of my body, my hip area on my left side was just in so much pain. And there was one morning I woke up, I felt like I couldn't walk. I went to the Smithsonian, the African American History Museum down in DC with my nephew and a couple of my friends. We went there and I was walking around so much, and I think that might have triggered it in a different way, because baby, that next day, I felt like I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain. So I called my primary care to say like, hey, I know I have breast cancer, but also I've had symptoms of arthritis for a couple of years now. Can we get this checked out? Because I think I have arthritis, and I think it's flaring up because I'm so stressed out about cancer. So she's like, sure, let's do a PET scan. So she ordered a PET scan for me. I am at the radiology clinic for a PET scan today. I've been having intense cramping and pain in my lower back. I went to get the PET scan, and the PET scan is what showed me this isn't arthritis. The cancer has already spread to your bones. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I'm sitting here talking about this without crying. But after I got that news, I went into the appointment with my breast surgeon knowing it's already stage 4 if it's spread to my bones. Today is my first meeting with the breast surgeon. So I'm very grateful to get in here. That appointment was probably the worst appointment of my life because that was the first time I'm having a conversation with a medical professional to say, yes, death is in the room. Death is a part of the conversation. Because she has to just be very frank with me and very honest and very real to say, yes, you will die from this. This is stage 4. It is metastatic. But there are a lot of treatments that are available so that it prolongs your life for as long as possible. She said there are women who have been able to go on and live long lives after getting a breast cancer diagnosis the way you're getting. And so hope isn't lost per se, but we have to give you the facts. And so that was oh God, that was a hard appointment for me to sit through. And she was amazing. She was amazing. That she couldn't have handled it better, but it's just hard news to hear. And shortly after that, I met with who became the woman who ended up becoming my medical oncologist. She was like, okay, now that we know you have it in the bones, we need to do a bone biopsy. Let me also paint this picture. Yes, I have breast cancer, but there are different types of breast cancer. In the same way that you think of pie, you have pie, but then you have different types of pie. You have apple pie, you have blueberry pie, you have pumpkin pie, you have pecan pie. You have different types of pie. You have breast cancer, but you have different types of breast cancer. There's HER2. So my type of breast cancer in my breast and my lymph nodes is called ER positive, PR positive, HER2 negative.
I just finished my bone biopsy and I'm very excited to start treatment ASAP because my bones are in pain. My femur bone and my hip bone, but the past couple days it's been my femur bone, which is basically my thigh. Oh baby, I almost Googled leg amputation near me because I was like, this thing gotta go. But it comes and goes. It'll be over eventually. I just gotta breathe through it. But this is what my day looks like today.
We needed to do the bone biopsy to make sure that the type of cancer that was in my bone was the same as what's in my breast and my lymph nodes. Come to find out, it was not. What was in my bone was considered, it's still breast cancer. It's breast cancer that has spread to my bones, but the type there is now considered ER positive, PR positive, HER2 positive. So that's called triple positive. If there's any type of breast cancer, I mean, nobody wants breast cancer. Nobody wants cancer. But if there was a type to have, triple positive is probably one of the more ideal types to have because the treatment options are so vast. And so this is considered good news. So once we found out that it was triple positive in my bones, my oncologist said, we're going to do chemo. We're going to do what's considered low dose chemo. Say a cancer patient gets 100% of the chemo drugs. I get 20%. I get a more gentler dose because I'm already stage 4 and I'm 38 and they want to prolong my life as much as possible. So like, let's not give her this huge toxic blast when she's so young and already so far in her progression of her cancer. I've been doing chemotherapy. I've had my first chemo session today. Chemo infusion, that's my port. I actually need to take this off shortly. I just finished another round of chemo. This was my 4th round of chemo. I am very sleepy. I can't wait to get home, shower, and get in the bed. I am 12 infusions in at this point. I draw in my eyebrows because I don't have any anymore. This is a total wig because I am completely bald. For a number of weeks, I was back and forth between my bed and the bathroom because I was either dealing with nausea or diarrhea. I have a lot, like my hands look very dry right here because I've just been washing so much that it just dried it out. So it looks a little crazy, but I have moisturizing soap and moisturizing lotion to always put on, but I know this is temporary. This is just part of the journey. One of my most recent side effects is hot flashes. Ooh, not comfortable at all, but it's nothing compared to that bone pain. Everything pales and everything is uncomfortable, but it pales in comparison to the bone pain. So I'm really grateful that I don't have to deal with the bone pain anymore. That it's just gone. I'm like, oh God, thank you, because I couldn't deal with it. One of the things that I did have, I didn't know this was a thing, was chemo acne. So right now I have on makeup so that you can't see the hyperpigmentation, but my whole face is covered in dark spots because one of the drugs that I'm on is called paclitaxel. It completely broke me out, and it wasn't just a breakout, it was like whiteheads. So it's like elevated, like pimple like whiteheads. And it wasn't just my face, it was in my ears, it was in my nose, it was all over my scalp, on my shoulders, on my back. It was just whiteheads. It literally looked like a plague. And so I now take a medicine called doxycycline for the chemo acne. And so you don't really see any like elevated areas. You just, if I were to take off my makeup, you would see, oh, it's a lot of scars, a lot of scarring. And so right now I'm doing a regimen for addressing the hyperpigmentation. So I didn't know that was a thing, chemo acne, but of course, I've been so grateful that I've had people who have been immensely supportive of what I've said I've needed in this time or what I've wanted in this time. I think it's very important to have people around you who see you, who really see you and can hear you and exactly what you're saying and honor that. If there was a season to have yes men around you, this would be one of those times because you're the one that has to go through this. You're the one that has to go through all these treatments and lose your hair and lose your, oh, it's just so much. It's so much. So it's like, if there's anything you need around you, it's people who are like, yes, what do you need? We got you. What do you not want? We got you. You change your mind? We got you. That has been a lifesaver for me in this time. I have different things that I do to kind of help myself come back over the ledge. The piano being one of those things, that practicing the piano, it forces me to engage my mind in a way that doesn't allow it to wander. And so I get on the piano not so that I can be some amazing savant, but mainly because I'm just trying to hold on to my sanity. And so that's been helpful. Fast-paced television dramas like Scandal have been helpful. Crossword puzzles have been amazing. My friend, she got me this huge book, 250 crossword puzzles. I have no need for any more crossword puzzles in my life because I'm only on like, number 30 at this point. But I love doing those things that engage my mind in a different way. My father has been a godsend. My father takes me to and from chemotherapy every Friday. Driving home, he was just like, it's a non-starter. You're not doing it. And I'm grateful for that because honestly, that Benadryl gets in your system and it's liquid Benadryl going straight into your veins. Baby! Even if you wanted to try and fight the sleep, you can't. I'll be staying in chemotherapy until I get to remission. Then I'll be having scans to see how the cancer is either going away or moving, whatever. We'll just do scans to stay on top of it all. But what I'm telling myself is this is not a death sentence. I am determined to do all I can to be here for as long as possible. If you've paid attention to this channel long enough, I have a nephew. He is just amazing. But honestly, having my nephew in my life has been a diversion because kids, yeah, they're gonna say, I'm so sorry you have this is what's going on, but also what's for dinner? And so having my nephew in my life, he's 8, having him in my life and in my care has been really great for me. There's somebody who's there waiting on me whether I have cancer or not. Granted, yes, my dad is here and my dad is very much involved in making sure he gets to school and back home. But there's somebody there who's looking to you and is depending on you to be okay. Having a why is important. And for me, one of my whys is my nephew. And so, Jesus. If you are in this journey, I am so sorry. I am so sorry because this is hard. Don't let anybody gaslight you and try to tell you it's not gonna be hard or it's not that difficult. This is mentally exhausting. There were some days, honestly, where I was just like, should I check into somewhere like a mental facility? Because I feel like I'm losing my actual mind. Everybody is different. Everybody's treatment may look different. Everybody's capacity to handle challenges is going to look different. I am just doing my best to adjust and shift and regain a new sense of self that feels empowered to keep going and is very much in tune with what I need in order to keep going. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Bye.